Good evening. Welcome, everybody. We're back with the old Sodcast once again. We had a week's delay, a week off, if you will. Jason's always got a week off. He's got some sort of chest prop. That's a terrible joke to begin with, isn't it? Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, that's really set the tone. Okay.
Hi.
So welcome back to the old Sodcast. Really excited about this one tonight. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of it very soon, but we'll have a chat with my illustrious co-presenters first. I'm, of course, joined, as I always am, by Not Suitable for Mum, aka Jason Glow. Hi, Jason.
Hello.
You had a good week or 3 weeks?
Yeah, not bad. Pretty eventful. Went to a gig, as we know. That's why we went on the last one.
Yep.
Can't believe that's a week ago already.
Yep.
No, that was very good. Usual, getting the videos ready, doing my under the radar stuff. Yeah, pretty standard. Enjoyable enough.
Also, we're joined today by Mr. Ian. I nearly said your surname, man, and I thought, well, I better not, because some people don't like their full name reveal. So he's supposed to be Mr. Ian. He wants to remain half anonymous. It's Mr. Ranking the Obscure Ian. Hiya, Ian. You're all right?
Good evening, Jimmy, and good evening, Jason.
How's your past few weeks been?
Busy. As ever.
Good to hear.
I'm going to a gig on the 10th of May. I think it's the 10th of May.
Oh, cool.
With Nick's Vinyl Buddy.
That should be interesting.
We are going to see the Soap Girls, or something like that.
No idea.
The Soap Girl.
Yeah, some punk band. Some sisters are punk bands, so looking forward to that. That's about it, really. Getting ready to do. Been doing some work on the new wave of heavy metal.
Okay.
Yeah, I had time to do that.
That's something.
Creating a few shorts. Yeah, the usual sort of thing.
Yeah, Ian is planning something rather special for the Sodcast that's going to come along in the summer sometime, I think. He's aiming for, because he's got a lot of research and work to do for it. Well, maybe not that much, but, he's a busy chap with plenty of other things. We got coming up on the channel this week, Ian.
What have I got? Well, it's a bit of a proggy week this week. We got Gracious. I'm going to pick some bad Marillion songs. People going, he loves Marillion. Yeah, but they made some stinkers. We got some Beggars Opera as well. We've got the last quarterfinal, of course.
Of course, Battle Royal.
Yeah. What's the weather class? Well, we've had a nice day. It's been a bit blowy here today, Nick. I'm his weatherman as well, and I've got the tickets for tickets for the gig.
Hello, Nick.
Yeah. What else have I got this week? Budgie, a great rock band from Wales, and I've got a new album this week. The Praying Mantis, a band that will sort of feature in a future show, because they were there right at the beginning of New Wave of Heavy Metal. So what's going on this week? Plus, me and Richard were doing a video on next Saturday as well. So remind me what the topic is for you and Richard this Saturday. Songs that win movies, not necessarily soundtracks, but pop songs that appeared in the movies.
Okay.
Cool. That should be good.
Lovely. Yeah. Looking forward to it. And of course, I'm assuming the regular Thursday night stream will be all systems go this Thursday.
Oh, yes, of course.
Focus year 1989, may I?
1989, and we'll be spinning the wheel to see what top 10s we're going to be looking at in May. So,
okay.
Excellent.
Yes, some good stuff.
Absolutely. So make sure you're checking out Ranking the Obscure if you're not, or I'm sure the majority of you are, and if you're not, then you should be. Jason, what have you got coming up this week?
Yeah, well, it'll be this time next week it'll be 1967. Maybe, yeah, I think it's just 1967 on the Under the Radar. That's coming up. I've got a couple of albums to show, which I must record tomorrow. That's it really, as far as music's concerned, just a few odds and ends. I have been sorting out my record collection, and I've found a few sort of things I'd forgotten I had. So they may get a showcase at some point. Not sure when, but some point in the future. So that could be quite interesting.
Okay.
Some of them, I'm not sure many people would know. Ian, possibly. Yourself, maybe not so much.
All right, okay. Well, we'll wait with bated breath. As for me, I've got 3 videos this week. It was only 2 up until earlier on today. I've been very busy today. I've managed to get a whole video filmed, edited, and scheduled. Literally finished about an hour and a half before we started here. But Monday is the next installment of Mini Disc Monday. I'm going to be showing a classic album on Mini Disc. One that came out, the only clue I'll give you is that it came out originally in 1983. So there we go. But I do have a Mini Disc, which of course was the format of the 90s, or it was for me anyway. Wednesday is a Smule. We'll move swiftly on from that. And Friday, I've scheduled it quite soon in advance because it's something I can drop anywhere into the schedule. It's the video that I finished today. It is an ITV chart show reaction. I managed to find another full edition of the chart show from a certain year in the 90s, and I'll be reacting to that. That's coming out on Friday. I've checked for my copyrights and stuff. There's one little bit that apparently is blocked in Jamaica, so apologies to all my acquaintance of Jamaican viewers. You won't be seeing that on Friday. That's what I've got coming up. And as for the Sodcast, we will all hopefully be back in 2 weeks' time with a certain special guest presenter who may be in the chat now as we speak.
Yes,
very excited about that. So look out for that 2 weeks today, whatever the date of that is. It's the first Sunday in May. May the something, 8 p.m. I'm getting pins and needles in my foot already, and we've not even started, so that's good.
Well, May the 4th, May the 5th, something like that. I don't know.
Something like that, yeah. 5th of May rings a bell. So there we go. 2 weeks today. Hello, Nick's Vinyl Butty, by the way. I didn't say hello to you earlier. Right, we know what we're doing tonight, and this is something I've been very excited about. So about 6 weeks ago, we tier list ranked the 30 best-selling singles in the UK of the 1980s. That was a lot of fun, and I thought, you know what? I think doing it for the 70s singles is going to be just as much fun, if not more. Well, of course, the proof of the pudding and all that. So I need to get the tier list up. So bear with me while I do that.
Nice.
And what I think I'll do, I will take the chat overlay off screen just until we're done, so that obviously people can still chat, and I'll be looking out for the chat as much as I can. But does that look all right to people?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
As I say, my eyes are a bit off, so we just have to.
Well, you, Jason, you can just kind of, just point me, just say, I don't know, 4th from the left or 5th from the right or whatever. So these are here the sleeves for the 30 biggest selling singles of the 1970s. Of course, we'll have a little bit of an opinion on each of them as we go through them. But I've also put that it's very small, but I can just about see most of the numbers. But I've put numbers at the top right hand corner to indicate. It's more for my own benefit than anything to indicate whereabouts they are in this top 30 list. But it doesn't matter. We're picking them at random anyway. Whatever we like the look of, then that's what we're going to select. So I'll do it similar to how we did it last time. We'll start with you, actually, Jason. You can have first pick today, seeing as how.
Okay, that's very generous of you. What's the bright orange? Is it an orangey cover about?
Is this the one that's third from the right? Is it?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
That one is, and I'm going to have to get my glasses on just to double check. But I'm pretty certain you've just chosen the New Seekers there, Jason. With You Won't Find Another Fool Like Me.
Okay.
So,
all right, okay.
This was the 27th biggest selling single of the entire decade. It was released in 1973 and it sold 855,000 copies. Jason, You Won't Find Another Fool Like Me. I know I won't ever find another fool like you, Jason, that's for sure.
He's on a roll tonight, isn't he, ladies and gentlemen?
Right. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, the Seekers are okay. They're a bit twee, I think, really, for my liking. Again, my sight, honestly, is bloody terrible today. Let's put it on. Let's put it on these. I can't read the letters. I'm sorry, my eyes are really poor.
It's SABCD, Jason. That's all you need to know.
All right, okay.
Top, D's bottom.
Yeah. Let's say a C at best.
Jason saying C. Ian, you are our resident 1970s expert for obvious reasons. So I know you're going to have strong opinions about this and the other 29. So what do you reckon to You Won't Find Another Fool Like Me?
It's one of their most popular singles. Now, they were very, very big in the 70s. You could, when you switched on TV on a Saturday night, they appeared on everybody's shows because there was a lot of them sort of stars doing shows. You know, Cilla Black, Val Doonican, two Ronnies. They were always on telly. They were a big act. Put together a part of, to carry on from the Seekers. We loved them in our house. They were catchy, popular tunes. Great singers. Every one of them were great singers. You see, I would put that in a B because it was a huge record.
B, says Ian. Did the New Seekers, did they ever go in for Eurovision or like try and qualify?
They represented us.
Oh, they actually represented.
Yeah, and I can't remember the record they did it with, but
yeah,
They Steer All Borrow. That was it.
Ah, okay. So Ian likes the New Seekers. I mean, they're very sort of twee pop. This was a song that I'd heard it before plenty of times, but I did need to go back and listen to it again, just to kind of refresh my memory. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was absolutely brilliant by any stretch. Oh, for me, it's kind of sort of like hovering between B and C, really, which doesn't help because there's no category, there's no tier in between B and C. There's not a B.5 or whatever.
You've both said B, haven't you? Really? So
no. Well, I mean, I suppose I said B/C. So I think for now it can go in B. Right at the end, I meant to mention this earlier. We will go back to the entire list, and anything that we're not happy with the positioning, we'll do a bit of swapping around. But for the moment, I think it'll be a low B for me.
Yeah.
Right, Ian. Any of those take your fancy that you want to kick us off with?
Well, I did see that this disappeared under the thing, but I did see the word Slade.
Third from the left on the second row. Yeah, where mine. There we are. Yeah, Slade are number 40, says not 43, 13, so we're not doing the top 50. This is Merry Christmas, Everybody from Slade, the 13th biggest selling single of the decade, again from 1973, and this sold 1,006,000 copies. All right, Merry Christmas, everybody, Ian. What do you reckon?
Top tier. It's one of the greatest Christmas singles ever made when they made proper Christmas singles. There were so many good ones in that period. There was Wizard, there were Mud, Shawaddy Waddy, but this is the greatest of them all. It's quirky. It's what Christmas is about. Jim Lee and Noddy Holder knew how to write a hit. And this was the song that was recorded in New York in the middle of a heat wave.
Oh yeah, I think I remember reading about that. Yeah, it was.
It's fun. It's just a great record, and it deserves to be on the top shelf.
Right, Ian's saying S tier for Merry Christmas, Everybody, or Merry Xmas, Everybody. Jason, what's your thoughts on this one?
I do like it, but I've never been a massive fan of Christmas music, so it's where to put it. And it's been overplayed to my way.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. It's just part of Christmas.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Where to put it? I'm gonna have to say B, I'm afraid.
It's B tier for Jason. So, oh right. Well, my own opinion. I agree with Jason. I've heard it too often. It's like a Christmas cliche really now for me. I like Slade. I'm not a massive fan, but I like him.
Yeah.
Well, would I be disappointed if I never heard Merry Christmas, Everybody again? No, I wouldn't, frankly. It is, it's a Christmas staple. It's a well-written song, well-produced, well-performed, etc., etc. I totally understand why Ian would rank it so high. Just my own feelings on it. I mean, yeah, it's pure Christmas, and my thoughts on Christmas music is some I like, some I don't. It's a mixed bag for me. Yeah, I wouldn't really want to rank it myself higher than B. So, with Ian choosing S and me and Jason choosing B, I think it's a little bit of a 2-on-1 vote here, I'm afraid. So
yeah, I can get it. I can get how you two feel about it, but I was there when it came out.
Yeah.
Well, so was I, really.
Yeah. Just for anyone who isn't sure, I was actually born in 1980, so I was there for none of this stuff. So, I'm just going by sort of what I've heard over the years and sort of what.
Slade are my favourite band, one of my favourite bands ever. So.
I'm assuming you'd want them. I'd be happy to put them ahead of the new C.
Oh God, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right, my first pick. Oh, what shall I have? Let's choose one at the very end. I'm going to choose Shawaddy Waddy there at the end of the top row there. That'll be the 19th best-selling single of the 1970s. This was from 1976. Under the Moon of Love. It sold 985,000 copies. Right. I think Shawaddy Waddy complete cheese, really.
They are.
I don't. It's the sort of thing like if I sort of heard it on the telly, which I have. I'm sure I've reacted to a Top of the Pops where this came on.
Pretty sure you did, yeah.
I wouldn't say, oh, this is awful, I hate it. So I don't think it's going to be D tier for me, but I, in all good conscience, couldn't rate. I don't think anything by Shawadi Wadi higher than C tier for me. Um, uh, what do you think? Where are you going to put Shawadi Wadi and Under the Moon of Love? See, it's difficult. There's obviously some really big singles to come that we're all going to have strong opinions on. But will this not be my era? It's going to be tricky for me to really decide on a lot of these.
I prefer it to the Seekers, personally. But then the Shawty Waddy were pretty much a covers band, weren't they?
I think a lot of their stuff were covers. Ian, was Under the Moon of Love a cover?
I'm sure it came out in the 60s.
But they were part of what was at the time the rock and roll revival.
Yeah.
I mean, they were from New Faces. They appeared on the talent show New Faces.
Yeah.
And they run it with a song called Hey Rock and Roll. They did some great. They were very, very popular, and they still are. They are still touring to this day. They are huge. I've seen them in concert, and they put a damn good show on. You know, I think if you love rock and roll, you're going to like Shawadi Wadi.
Yeah, I think again, I can't really put them any higher than. But see, it's where you got the New Seekers. So
well,
I'm gonna
look. The New Seekers is just where we've put that because it was, I've got to make a decision based on the three of us. I'm not saying because you like it better than the New Seekers, you have to put it in B tier. If you think it's C or even D, then just say it's C or D. You don't take into consideration where anything else is placed.
Fair enough.
Single itself.
It's sort of middle of the road, so I'm gonna say B.
Right. So you want to put it in B tier.
Yeah, it's middle of the road. It's not bad. It's not great. It's right. Just,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, anything that's like not great, I'd be putting at least C myself. But okay.
Yeah.
Right, Ian. I've got a feeling you quite like this one then.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's B. I think it should be at the top of C. To be honest, they did do better ones. This is a great one, but it's the one that Shawadi Wado, Under the Moon of Love. They don't think about Three Steps to Heaven. They don't think about their version of When. And they did also record their own stuff, write their own stuff. But I don't think it's B. It's a great single, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I think top end of C is about right for it.
I mean, it'd be the only end of C at the moment because, I said C. Jason, I think's reluctantly put it in B because I think for some reason he thinks ranking it behind the New Seekers is some sort of national crime. I don't know why, but I think this is going to be an easy C for us then, seeing as how you and I Ian. So
I'm happy with that.
Oh, good, because you did want it in B for some reason, Jason. So. But anyway, it's your next pick. So if you want to tell me whereabouts in the rows.
Oh, crikey. Bottom row.
Yeah.
Second one in.
Second one on the left or the right?
From the right.
Second one from the right is the. Oh no, I've got to make sure I read out the proper full title of the band. It's the Brickhouse Brass Band with the Floral Dance. This was the 26th best-selling single of the decade, and it sold, would you believe, 860,000 copies. So, Jason, people say that your bodily functions resemble a brass band quite a lot.
Quite probably, yeah.
But do you like brass band music, and more pertinently, do you like the floral dance?
Okay, I'm not massively into brass band music, but I do have fond memories of the floral dance, right? Because I think we were in Somerset, somewhere like that, when I was about 6, and there was a brass band walking down the street playing it, and there was all these people dancing hard. and we ended up joining in. So, where to put it? Thing is, you got the Terry Wogan version as well. So, which is the cheesiest?
I mean, Terry Wogan would have done some sort of version subsequently, presumably. Ian might be able to shed more light on that.
Yeah, that came after this one.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
This is the one that's in there again, Jason. You have to judge it on what you've got in front of you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
This is the instrumental version.
I think C.
C tier for Jason. Ian, The Floral Dance by the Brighouse and Rastrick Brass Band.
Well, this is a traditional Cornish tune. The Floral Dance was actually performed, I think, in a village called Heston. That's where it originates from. It's a very Cornish tune. I was brought up on brass bands because of my grandparents. You know, and that with in Northampton we had a bandstand. On a Sunday afternoon, you'd have a brass band playing in the bandstand, and I saw a lot of this, and I've got quite a fondness of this song. I think it's a great tune. It's been copied so many times. It's even been featured in Dad's Army. You can tell how old this song is. So it's a very traditional English song, The Floral Dance. And I think this is a great version of it. It's been featured in films. Brassed Off, it was played in that. It's a colliery band. It's got a lot of history, you know, this sort of music.
It's very memorable. I can hear it in my head now.
Yeah.
What we're talking about, it's one of those tunes, isn't it?
It's jolly. It's uplifting.
Yeah.
It is.
And I think it's not going to, you know, I don't think it's the best thing of the 70s, but I wouldn't say it's the worst thing ever in the 70s either. I think it is definitely either B or C.
Right. So are you leaning towards one or the other? It's difficult, isn't it?
I remember when it was in the charts, it was always being played on the radio, on Radio 2. So it was a huge hit.
Yeah.
I think it's got to go in C. Because it really is sort of a novelty record as well.
Yeah, you have to consider it. It goes down the novelty end of things, really.
Yeah, but it was so popular, and if I hear it now, I do like tapping to my feet to it. It's just a jolly little song.
Yeah, there's nothing, you know. It's just nice and inoffensive, and
it's like an elderly uncle or aunt that. You don't dislike them, you don't love them to bits, but they're fun.
Yeah. We
all had that aunt or uncle we used to like going to visit, although we didn't. You know, they were fun to be around, and that's that sort of song. It's a fun song.
Yeah. So you're saying C?
Yeah, I think C's.
Yeah. You know what? I'm happy to make it 3 C's here. Really, I like it, but I don't know if I like it enough to. I mean, I wouldn't be putting it in B because I'd be happy to be outvoted. But I think for me, it's a sort of high C, really. You know, so I'm gonna stick it ahead of Shawaddy Waddy here for the moment. Anyway, I mean, we will come back to all these later on. So Floral Dance goes in C tier, but I don't dislike it for really the reasons that Ian said. And Ian, it is your pick now, I believe.
Yes, and I know what one I'm going for. Mull-of-Kintyre Wings.
All right. Ian's going for number 1, Mull of Kintyre / Girls' School. It was a double A side. I think there's a few double A sides in this list. There's at least a couple anyway. Wings from 1977. This sold 2,050,000 copies. It was, of course, the biggest selling single of the 70s, and it was the biggest selling single in the UK until Band Aid, I believe. All right, Ian. Tell us
Draw.
your thoughts on Mull of Kintyre, and if you want to judge it with the double A side girls' school as well, fair enough. I personally can't remember the last time I heard girls' school, so I'm going to be judging it based solely on Mull of Kintyre. But if you want to talk about both tracks, it's up to you.
Well, in America, it was girls' school that was more popular. Because obviously, the Americans wouldn't know what bagpipe music is. Really, it's top draw. It's one of the greatest records ever to come out of Paul McCartney's. It's a beautiful song, and if it weren't for that bagpipes, it would be nothing. And that bagpipes add to it.
No.
And I love girls' school. I mean, 3 cheers for the girls. Hip hip hurrah! Hip hip hurrah! Very British, but it's a great rocker. That's Linda McCartney doing 3 cheers for the girls. It's top draw, and that's the only place that deserves to be.
It sounds like you're saying S tier for Mull of Kintyre.
Oh, yeah, S tier, definitely.
S tier, says Ian. Jason, Mull of Kintyre by the only band the Beatles could have been, Wings.
Yeah, it's almost a guilty pleasure for me. I know I shouldn't like it, but I do. And it is a great tune. And and I'm not one for bagpipes, but as Ian said, it wouldn't be what it was without the bagpipes by any stretch. Where to put it? It's got to be A at the very least. Top end of A.
Jason saying A for Mull of Kintyre.
No. This is the greatest. Up until Live Aid, this was the greatest selling single.
Oh, yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it's still a better single than Live Aid.
Oh, yes. I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah. Much better than Live Aid.
I wouldn't call it a casting vote, but I think how I would rank it will certainly swing the final decision. Yeah, people who know me know I like bagpipe stuff, and we'll get onto that again some more later on. This is Wings' best single for me. I've got a friend actually who can't stand this. She thinks it's awful. I think mainly because of the bagpipe stuff. Also, I have to give it honourable mention because of the Nottingham Forest connection as well. So, this is an easy S tier for me. And because Ian wants it in S and Jason, ranks it in A, it's our first S tier one. This Mull of Kintyre, nice easy decision. So there we go, Mull of Kintyre. Is it my pick now? I've kind of lost my trail of thought. You know what? Because it's the one that I wasn't familiar with at all, I'm going to pick it. It's on the very end of the first row here, and it's Mississippi by Pussycat. So I couldn't remember this whatsoever, and even when I listened to it the other day, I was like, this isn't ringing any bells. I think there may have been a Dutch act, possibly. I think I've done a little bit of reading up on them. It was all right, but nothing that really floated my boat. Let me just read out the stats for this before I go any further. Mississippi was the 23rd biggest selling single of the 70s. It was released in 76 and it sold 947,000 copies. The title kind of, suggests that it's a little bit of a country twinged number. Country music has never been a massive favourite of mine, but, there is certain exceptions. For me, maybe it'd grow on me a little bit if I listen to it more, but as things stand, I can't really rank Mississippi by Pussycat higher than C. But Ian, let's have your thoughts on this one, because I'm sure you'll remember this very good.
I remember this. It wasn't at number one for too long, but it hung around in the charts for a little while. Nice tune, but it didn't. For me, it's memorable because I remember it. But if you weren't around in '76, you wouldn't know what it was. I don't think. So I think a C is a fair place for it. It's not a bad record by any means.
No, I listened to it. It were all right, you know.
Yeah, it's not a bad record. It's got a lovely melody. The girl that done the singing, she was good. There's some nice little bit of steel guitar in the background on there as well. So it's well produced, but it's not one of the big ones that everyone goes, oh, yeah, I remember Mississippi by Pussycat.
Mm.
So I think it's a good place for it.
C for Ian as well. I mean, it was obviously a big seller to get into this top 30, and you know, I think there would be some pretty big singles that missed out on this top 30. So
it was more what was being played on Radio 2 at the time. I think it was the Radio 2 listeners that it wasn't played on radio. I can't remember this ever being played on Radio 1, but I knew it was on Radio 2.
No. All right. Jason, Mississippi by Pussycat. What you thought?
It just seems to me a rather generic country and western tune. There's nothing special about it at all. It's not offensive, you know, but it's just meh. So I'd say C as well, but I'm in the C probably.
There we go. So we're all in agreement there. It's a C tier. Yeah, I'll leave it behind Shawaddy Waddy at least for now, and I'm happy with it staying behind Shawaddy Waddy. Really, certainly would rank it ahead of the lovely floral dance. All right, it's your pick now, Jason. If you want to point out something that looks.
Right, hang on, I've got to see how many you win. Right, it's almost in the middle of the top row. It's a white cover with something black, sort of silhouette almost on it.
Is it with the green stuff on it as well?
No, the one next to that.
Oh, the one next to it. Okay, that is
Bright Eyes.
Oh, it is.
Bright Eyes. Garfunkel. That was the 9th biggest selling single of the decade. It was out in 1979. And it sold 1,155,000 copies. Right, Jason. Sorry, you're gonna have to talk about eyes again now. I know that's a bit of a sore topic for you tonight. But Bright Eyes by one half of Art and Paul. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, again, it's another one, sort of almost a guilty pleasure, really. I think if I'd heard it without seeing the movie, I probably wouldn't rate it as high as I am going to. But the two are just, you know, they're just synonymous with each other. So it's. I would say we'll stick it on a B level.
Jason says B for Bright Eyes. Of course, it was from the film Watership Down. Ian, what's your thoughts on Bright Eyes?
It's a wonderful song. Very sad. The video to it is so sad. Obviously, from the film. I mean, everyone has watched Bright Eyes. If they haven't, why haven't you? Because it's one of the most beautifully animated films that you'll ever see. Yeah. And Art's vocals on it are just fantastic. But I think it should be A, because it is just a beautiful song.
Okay.
Right, so you'd want it in A. You don't think it's quite A?
No, it's A's. I think it should be an A list. One of the great songs of the 70s.
For me, I love it. I've always liked Bright Eyes. You know, I'm not big on ballads generally, but there's just something. It's always been one of those songs that it's made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up when you listen to it. I don't know if it's the production and it's Art's voice. You know, he's got that kind of slightly sort of high timbre. I can't even say the word, but you know, that sort of higher voice than what you'd maybe expect from a gentleman singer. But there's just always something about the way it's all worked together that I've always really loved. For me, I think I do agree with you, Ian. It's one of the best singles of the entire decade. If it was me on my own, I'd be tempted to put it in S tier myself. I really like it that much, but I'm happy to kind of split the difference here, really. Well, it's not even splitting the difference because you've picked it as A anyway. And did you say B for this one, Jason?
Yeah.
But I'll go. I'll put it in A tier. I really like it. It's a great single, Bright Eyes. I'm happy for that to go in A tier. And we move on, and it's Ian's pick.
Well, let's do the ABBA one.
The ABBA one.
Oh,
I need
crikey.
to,
Yeah.
Where are we?
Extra. Yeah, you got it.
Yep. There we go. It was the surprisingly low on the chart, really, for me. Dancing Queen, the 29th biggest selling single of the decade from '76. It sold 850,000 copies. Right. Shame Richard McCook's not here because we know where I think we know where he put this one. But where do you think it should go, Ian?
Personally, D. I hate the song.
Whoa! Someone cut this bit and then send it to Richard.
When I did my top 10 singles of ABBA, it weren't even in my honourable mentions. I just think it's the one that everyone goes nuts over. It's dreary. Oh God, I just don't like it. You can't compare that to songs like Waterloo and Knowing Me, Knowing You and SOS. This is just a dreary whine. And I can't understand why people go mad about it. I really can't. It's not their best tune.
Yep. So you're saying D tier for Dancing Queen?
I hate it. That's what.
Yeah, honest opinions is what we require. Well, Jason, I mean, you've been an absolute ABBA super fan for as long as I've known you, so it's obviously where you're going to put this.
I completely agree with Ian. I mean, I can't stand ABBA anyway, but this is it's dreadful. And then blooming, they did that musical with Meryl Streep in there. Absolutely ruined it even more if that was possible.
Yeah, I don't like Mamma Mia. I love ABBA. I grew up on ABBA. But Mamma Mia and Dancing, the film, it's awful. And this song, it's just, oh, God, stop whining, girls.
Shut the hell up. And that's being polite. Down the bottom of the barrel, mate, D, easy. Any day of the week.
Yeah, 2 Ds. Oh, dear, right, okay. Well, I don't think it's quite as terrible as what you pair are making out, but I do agree to a large extent with Ian that I wouldn't rate it as one of their best singles, not compared to some of the other stuff they came out with. I mean, I love The Name of the Game. I think that's amazing. I love that song. Waterloo, maybe a bit overplayed, but it was, it was a landmark kind of single, particularly in Eurovision circles. Gimme, Gimme, Gimme was better. There's a lot of singles that I think were better than Dancing Queen. Where would I rank this? I mean, I can't really rank it higher than a high C, really, for me personally. So I've got to go with the majority here. It seems a little bit of a shame, but because you both can't stand it, it's got to go in D tier. This one.
Yeah, I just don't know. I just didn't get it. What in God's name did people jump up and joy? You put them the Eagle on or something like that. They've got totally oblivious. It's the non-ABBA fans' favourite record.
Yeah, it is one of their weakest singles. I will agree. I mean, doing an ABBA tier list are probably quite fun one day. It's all right, Jason. You can have the day off for that one.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be watching.
I didn't think it'd be that easy to get rid of him. To be honest, all I need to do is start threatening to do an ABBA ranking. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's the non-ABBA fans' favourite ABBA song, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's better than D tier, but I'm going with the majority here, and because I wouldn't rank it at B by any stretch, it'd be like a sort of high or mid C for me. So D's fine.
Yeah, it's when they say, you go, what's your favourite ABBA song? Dancing Queen. Yeah, okay. You're not an ABBA fan then.
No. Right, I do believe it's my pick. Well, what shall I pick? One that I love or one that I can't stand or something in the middle? We'll get this one done. We'll get Queen Bohemian Rhapsody done. Number 7 on the top 30 list. 1975 it came out and it sold 1,190,000 copies. Right. Well, my thoughts about Queen are relatively well documented. I don't hate them, but I think generally their output, for the most part, is very, very overrated by music fans and critics alike. However, I'm not going to say Bohemian Rhapsody is an awful song because it's not. Is it one that's been reissued maybe once too often? Certainly, I've heard it once too often, definitely. I could never rank this at D because that would mean I think it was absolutely rubbish and terrible and without merit, and it isn't. But I've never liked it enough for me. You know, certain Queen songs, like I've always said, Under Pressure with Bowie, great track, love that. Doesn't matter that it's Queen or anyone else for that matter. You know, that's a great single. But Bohemian Rhapsody, it's kind of overblown for me. It's overplayed, and for me, I don't want to rank it higher than C tier. But there we go. Right, Ian, I know you're a Queen fan, so what do you reckon to Bo Rap?
Well, when I first heard this, I remember hearing it back in '75, and it was groundbreaking. The video was groundbreaking, and it's beautifully put together, well produced. It's an absolute masterpiece. But as time has gone on, it was hijacked by the non-Queen fans. It's overplayed now. See, it's not even my favourite Queen song. It would get in my top 10, but it's not my favourite Queen song by any chance. But to take it into what it was in 1975, which how I'm going to rate it, it does belong in S, because if it weren't for that record, we wouldn't have music videos today. We wouldn't have some. They pushed the boundaries. No one had made a 7-minute single.
Yeah.
Kenny Everett kept playing it on over and over again on his radio show. It is a masterpiece. How many songs have got ballads, rock, and opera all thrown in? Not many. It is a classic song, and even though I don't like it as much as I did back in the day, I still think it belongs in S because of its quality.
Right. Okay. So we've got quite a wide gap of opinions so far. I say C tier. Ian says S tier. Jason, you could be the deciding voice on this. Weirdly,
I do like Queen. The thing is, they're one of those bands that when they first came out, I wasn't awfully keen. And as the years progressed, I got more into rock music. Yes, I appreciate them for what they are. So I can't honestly say an S. They've done a lot better tunes, in my opinion, as the years have gone on. I get what Ian's saying about its influence and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with top end of A, right? Above Watership Down. Bright Eyes.
Right. A tier, says Jason. Right. Yeah. So I went with C. Jason with A. Ian with S. So I mean, we've got to try and sort of meet in the middle, really. Yeah, it'll have to go in A tier. I'm saying that it sounds begrudging because obviously I don't like it anywhere near that much, but you two both like it. I don't, I think mine and Jason's opinions aren't enough to push it into S tier on this occasion. And Jason's wanting it ahead of Bright Eyes, well, he can bugger right off because it's not. I'm having it behind, at least for the time being, anyway.
Again, anyone that says their favourite song is Bohemian Rhapsody, they're not a proper Queen.
Their opinions like not.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, my favourite period of Queen is 74 to 78, and then after it started going a bit too poppy for me.
Yeah. All right. So we've ranked Bo Rap, and it's now Jason's turn.
All right, let me have a look. Hang on, let me think. I think it's the fourth one in from the left on the bottom row.
Fourth one from the left on the bottom row. The theme to Van der Valk. That looks like.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep, this one is Eye Level. It is the 14th biggest selling single of the decade. It's by the Simon Park Orchestra. It was released in 1972 and it sold 1,005,500 copies. Jason, Eye Level. God, it's all about eyes with you tonight, isn't it?
What can I say? Yeah, no, it's one of those tunes. I'd forgotten it was from Van der Valk, to be honest. Right, I knew the name, and I had to go back and listen to it to remember what it was called. To know it was the same song. I mean, and I actually remember it. I think it was in the 80s. They used it for some drink, Orangey Boom or something like that.
Orangey Boom, yeah, Dutch lager.
Boom. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, because obviously the series was set in Amsterdam, and that's a Dutch lager. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna. It's certainly better than the Floral Dance for sure. I'm gonna say top end of B. It's one of those songs. Again, you shouldn't really like it, but you do.
Simon Park Orchestra and Eye Level, B tier for Jason. What tier is it going to be for ranking the obscure? Ian, let us know.
Right, Van der Valk, very popular TV series in the 70s. Starring Barry Foster. That's why it was so popular, because it was a big TV series. It's a great theme tune. Set the scenes of Amsterdam. It's got that bit of a Dutch sort of swing to it. As far as it goes, I think it is a B tier because it is you hear that and everyone knows what it is.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed when they did the remake. They didn't use that.
Yeah, that's weird.
But I mean, I love the remake because it stars someone I went to school in. So.
All right. Okay. Fair play.
Yeah, I went to school with Mark Warren.
Oh wow!
So I don't know him so much now, I suppose. But I think if we saw each other in the street, it wouldn't be who are you, He's a really nice, down-to-earth guy. And the last time I saw him, which would have been about 10 years ago, he owned a Fate where I was living, and we went down the pub afterwards. So, I haven't seen him for 10, 15 years with that. So, it's definitely B for me.
Yeah. Well, Van der Valk is one of those programs that I know I would really like, because I do like my cop dramas, and I like anything that's got that 1970s sort of tinge to it. So Van der Valk is something I really need to probably binge it on BritBox or something at some point. But I think the first time I properly heard the theme was when I reacted to it during a Top of the Pops reaction. And I really enjoyed it. It would have been the number one single that they played that week from that year. And I would put it as the top end of B. Really, I do. It's just a great piece of music, and obviously, I've done a couple of videos with my all-time favourite TV themes in them, and I had to put it in, even though I'd never watched the programme. I've seen clips, I know I have, but I've never watched it. It ran for many years. I think it began, 1972, and I think it finished in its original form in, I think, 1992, something like that. So on and off. I mean, there would have been gaps, obviously, and probably the last few were probably specials rather than full series. But it was a show that, in its original guise, with Barry Allen, it lasted for 20 years. But
Barry Foster was a great actor. He played it really well.
Yeah, but we're not rating the show, and I'm sure I would love the show as much, if not more, than the actual theme itself.
Yeah, I think you would like the show.
Yeah,
because that's where I watch it.
Yeah, and I like anything that's set in Amsterdam. I like as well, like the To Hull and Back, Only Fools and Horses, and there's other things that they're set in Holland and Amsterdam, particularly. I mean, Amsterdam's somewhere I've been a few times, and it is one of my favourite European cities. But as for judging it on the actual music, it's a high B for me. I'm going to put it right at the front of B tier, ahead of Slade there. I'm very happy with it there.
That's one for later.
Yeah.
Right. It's your pick now, I think, into Ian.
Yeah, and I know what one I'm going for.
Okay.
Number 20.
Number 20 is... I can't read. Yeah. Number 20 is Hit Me With
Your Rhythm Stick.
Oh, yes.
Ian Jury and the Blockheads, of course. Came out in 1979 and it sold 979,500 copies. So a few thousand short of a million. Let me find. It's that one there, isn't it? Next to Summer Nights, I think.
No, it's the one next to it, the one with the...
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, you're right. Sorry, it's bloody hard to see some of these. Yeah, quite right. So, yeah, okay, Ian.
Classic Ian Jury song. Absolutely top draw. I brought this. It's Ian Jury is just a legend. It was fun. It was a big song. It's in '79. Everyone brought this. It's just a catchy tune. It's got a bit of a shuffle to it as well.
Jimmy, you need to read the comments in a minute, mate, if you haven't already.
Yeah, thank you everyone for chatting in the chat. By the way, yeah, Nick's Final Butty ahead of Slate. Sorry, but I don't know if you saw my comments about Merry Christmas, everybody, earlier. But for me, Slade's a little bit higher than what I would really want it to be. But anyway, Craig doesn't like this one at all because he's ranking it at D tier. All right, sorry. And did you say what T?
Top draw is S. It's an S category song.
It's an S for Ian. What about Not Suitable for Mum?
Oh, he's disappeared.
Oh, he's disappeared. Do I need to bring him back in? Hang on, let me get back to the.
No, I'm here. Sorry, I was having a bit of a coughing fit.
Oh.
Right, no, S, definitely. Love the song.
Right, okay.
I still haven't got a copy yet. I keep meaning to track one down. And I got that. It's the one you got for me, Laughter LP.
Yeah, the album. Yeah, it was
Great LP.
It was a relatively recentish. Well, I mean, as recent as it can be, given that Ian Jury died some years ago. But
yeah. But no, he's just quirky. He's fun. He don't really take any prisoners. He just does what he wants, doesn't he? He's just having. He was just having a good time, and it's not just like say he doesn't sing much. Well, he doesn't, but what he does fits the style of music that he plays, and the band's brilliant.
Blockheads
really, really good. Yeah, the brilliant band, really, really good. No, that's S tier all the way, definitely.
Right. Okay. Right. Would it be sacrilege to say that I preferred Ian Jory's "Profoundly in Love with Pandora" from a few years later? The theme tune to the Adrian Mole series. I like this. I don't love it though. So, nothing against it. Nothing against Ian Jory and the Blockheads. Great sort of. I'm trying to determine their genre now. I mean,
punk.
Yeah, certainly punk elements, but I don't like the term new wave very much. But I don't want to go there.
Nick could tell you where it fits because obviously Nick's a big Ian Jory fan.
Yeah, for me, this one it'd be lower end of B or maybe even top end of C is a bit mean, isn't it? But yeah, I've got to split the difference here. I don't like it enough to rank it myself at A, which would mean that I would defer to you two and put it in S. I think for me it's sort of a mid to low B one. So I think we're gonna have to meet in the middle, and it's gonna have to go in A tier, which I can't really see anyone's face. I can't see anyone's faces at the moment. I can tell that's gone down like a lead turd. You know what? Let's be fair. Let's rank it above Queen. Why not? Even though that's probably a bad decision. There we go. Ian Jory and the Blockheads. Right. I believe it's my pick, isn't it? Let's get it out of the way. Let's get this one from Greece done. Third biggest selling single of the decade. It is, of course, John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. You're the One That I Want. From 1978, it sold 1,855,000 copies. Greece gets on my bollocks. I know it's one of the all-time great musicals. Like that means something to me. Someone there's very few musicals that I can stick. Although I will say that one of my favourite albums of recent years was the Sound of Music cover album by Lieback. But Lieback are awesome. So anyway, getting back to Greece, You're the One That I Want. It gets on my nerves. For me, it's a D tier one. This for me, it's got very little to redeem it. Nick's falling out with me, probably because of what I did to Ian Jory. But for all I know, Nick is probably a bit of a Grease fan on the quiet as well. D tier for me. Don't like Grease. Don't like You're the One That I Want. I await to hear the opinions of Ian and Jason. Ian, what's your opinion on this one?
John Travolta could never sing. But Olivia Newton-John, she can sing.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was an established recording artist well before Grease, wasn't she?
I saw Grease when it come out. We all went to see it at the cinema. It was fun. But I did watch it not so long ago, and I did think it looked a little bit tired. It looked a little bit tired. It's not my favourite song from the film. My favourite song from the film is not even on this list.
Because unfortunately, we have got another Grease single to come. Yeah.
Out of the two, I prefer the two on this list. I prefer this one.
Okay, right.
It sold by the bucketful. Everyone brought it. It was at number one forever. Bottom end of B for me.
Bottom end of B, right? Okay, that's for me. From my perspective, that's quite high for that. But okay, all right, Jason, you might have a bit of a casting vote again here.
Yeah, it's not the one that I want. Put it that way.
No. Me neither.
No, it was all right for its time. I like Ian. I saw the cinema when I was quite young. Didn't get a lot of the references at the time. Obviously. I don't know. It's better than the other one, but I would have said no higher than C at best.
Right. So I
Yeah.
say D. Jason says C, and Ian says B. Well, we've got to really kind of just go in the middle, really. And I think C tier for You're the One That I Want.
Mm.
There we go. And I'm gonna leave
Yeah.
it at the bottom of C, at least for the time being, anyway. Right, that was my pick, so that means I think it's back to you now, Jason.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, it's getting a bit awkward trying to see some of the ones here. And you got third one in from the left.
Which row?
Top one, white cover.
Top row. Oh, good. I'm glad you picked this one, Jason. I'm pretty certain this is your all-time favourite from the decade.
Oh, crikey, go on then.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
Hello, from Liverpool.
There we go. We've had a bit of a rendition there. Thank you to RTO there. Little Jimmy Osmond, long-haired lover from Liverpool, out in 1972, and it was 2,000 shy of being a million seller. It sold 998,000 copies. So, Jason, yeah, I mean, we know you're a big Little Jimmy Osmond fan. So, tell us what you love about him so much.
Why did I pick that for?
Well, we've got to get through them all. So,
Yeah, no, but why it had to be me that picked it? I hate the bloody song. But can I use one of your expressions, Jimmy?
Go on.
Right, being brutally blunt. It's the drizzling shits. It's freaking awful. And I'm not into child violence or anything like that. But Jimmy needed a good slap for even dare to release that song.
To be fair, Jason, he's older than you, so it wouldn't look quite like you're bullying a kid now if you saw it.
But you know
what?
It was abysmal. That is probably the if not the worst song, one of the worst songs on this entire list. So yeah, bottom of the barrel, straight into D, no doubt. And let's apart from your opinions, let us speak of it no more.
Fair enough. Ian, have you got anything that might be a positive to say about long-haired lover from Liverpool?
It's not. I mean, I'm not a great lover of the Osmonds. I think I like about 3 songs by the whole family. One of them being "Crazy Horses."
Yeah, there's a lot of fun in it. Crazy Horses.
That's a good tune.
Which isn't surprisingly.
This is a pile of dung. I think it's cheesy, and I don't think he wanted to do it. I think he was forced into it. Little Jimmy Osmond, but it was so popular.
It was Christmas #1 that year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was horrible. I've never really got on with it.
Had he ever been to Liverpool? That's the thing.
Well, I don't think it really matters, Jason. But
I mean, poor old Jimmy's now. He's not in good health, but
bless him.
and I don't mean any bad wishes on Jimmy, but this was just scraping the barrel, I think.
Yeah.
It's D for me.
It's tripe. It's absolutely god awful. It's crap. It's an easy D. Easily one of the worst singles of the decade, if not of all time.
Yeah.
So there we go. That was nice. When I ranked all the Christmas #1s from the 1970s, I mean this one was rock bottom. So if it was bottom of that list, it's going to be bottom of this tier list for me. So Jason picked his beloved Little Jimmy, and Ian, which I know he regrets massively. Ian, what's your next pick, please?
I'm going for Julie Covington Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
Julie Covington at number 16 with Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. So, of course, this was from Evita. It was out in 1977 and it sold 993,000 copies. Some big sellers in this decade, isn't there? Okay, Ian, let us know about Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
Well, this version pisses all over Madonna's, for starters. Judy Covington is a great singer. This is a wonderful version of it. It's the best version of it. It's the only version of it. And it's a B for me. Madonna's, she ruined it. She was singing notes that didn't need to be there. Keep it simple, Madonna, like Julie did. It's a beautiful song, and I think it is so much better than Madonna's Simple As. But it's not the best single of the 70s, but it's definitely worth a lower end B.
All right, so Ian says B. All right, Jason, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. What's your thoughts on it?
It's awful. It's not. You know, I mean, what? It's nowhere near as bad as Jimmy. I will give you know, Mr. Osmond there with his dirge.
You're still hopping on about it. We moved on.
Yeah,
from
I know. I can't in any good conscience.
I'll help you draft some hate mail this week, and we'll send it out to him, Jason. Will that be good enough for you? Well,
not if the poor bloke sell.
Yeah, but you're ill, Jason. But I'd be happy for you to get hate mail.
True. No, I can't in good conscience give this any higher than C. I just, you know, all right, it's a different style and all the rest of it, but I just don't rate it.
You'd rank it at C. I thought you were going to go with D there.
No, it's better than what's in the D tier, but not by much.
Yeah. Okay. This is. Now it's another thing from a musical. Now Evita, I do remember seeing the film version, which is the one that obviously Madonna was in it, and Jimmy Nail, weirdly enough, back in the late 90s. I would have seen that on video. I thought the film were all right, actually. Say, obviously, musicals and me don't tend to get on particularly, but I think I sat through it and I wasn't completely horrified. This original version of Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. It doesn't belong in D tier, I agree. But I wouldn't want to rank it higher than C, I don't think, by any stretch, because it's not my scene. I think for me, I'm going to put it in the middle of C tier.
Okay.
Let's have it behind Shawaddy Waddy, I think. There we go. So Julie Covington goes into the C tier with Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. I think it's my pick now. Oh, shall we get the other Greece one out of the way? Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's just do away with all of the Greece stuff as quickly as we can now. At number 5 in the chart is John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, those pair of 30-year-old school children again, with Summer Nights this time. This one was 2 places below You're the One That I Want on this list. Of course, from 1978, and it sold 1,520,000. Let me try that again. 1,520,000 copies. So a 1.5 million seller. Summer Nights, and do I like this more or less than You're the One That I Want? God, because they're both awful. Oh dear. No, it's crap. It's D tier for me. This, I don't like it. I don't like Grease. So I couldn't, in all good conscience, even rank it in sympathy at C. Really, it's D tier for me. Ian, what do you say to Summer Nights?
I like it up to the bit until the bit where it goes those summer nights where John Travolta just didn't hit the note.
I was going to say that
it's not the best song on the soundtrack. You see, the best song on the soundtrack is the title Grease, the theme tune sang by Frankie Valli. That's the best song.
Yeah. I think that's
the best
Yeah,
song.
that's a good tune.
That is a good tune. I don't know what, but Summer Nights, I've never liked this. The Wella it's probably, there's better songs from that soundtrack. I mean, Grease Lightning's better than that, but this, it's D for me as well. I just don't like this song. I never have.
It's a D from Ian. Right, not suitable for Mum.
Oh,
Summer Nights.
yeah, it's pretty awful, isn't it? And completely what you said about the ending.
Oh God! Like wrangling cat. It sounds like two cats having a fight outside your bedroom.
I don't know about. It sounds more like they're making out than anything else. Which is rash.
If we can forego the veterinary studies here.
No, it's abysmal, isn't it? Really, that's got to be a D1 for sure.
Right,
I prefer things like Grease Lightning and stuff like that.
Yeah, Nick prefers the Arthur Mullard and Hilda Baker version of You're the One That I Want. And you know what? So do I.
Yeah.
Arthur Mullard, I think he's someone else who we're not supposed to mention much now because he got cancelled posthumously, admittedly. But I agree with that, Nick. And he's also got Grease is the Word on 7-inch single. Yeah, I am trying to look at the chat where possible, everyone. So apologies if I'm missing anything.
Yeah, I can't see because I've got this on full screen on mine.
Yeah. I think Jason's managing to keep abreast of the chat. So yeah, shall we be kind and put it ahead of Jimmy Osmond?
It's definitely better.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. We'll say no more of Grease tonight. Hopefully, it's your pick now. I think, Jason.
Oh, crikey. Let's just do them in order. The first one along from the right.
First one on the right
on the right,
top row. That is
top row.
That's the number 30th biggest selling single of the decade. It is When a Child is Born (Soleado) from 1976 by Johnny Mathis. It sold 850,000 copies, the same amount as Dancing Queen, but they ranked Dancing Queen at 29. But so a Christmas single. It was another Christmas number one. Jason, Johnny Mathis, what are your thoughts on this one?
I know I said I don't like Christmas songs, but I don't mind this.
What do you want?
I think Johnny Mathis was quite a good singer. I'm trying to think what we've got in context with everything else. Let's say it's C level. C level. Maybe top end of C. Right. It's as Christmas songs go, it's not bad.
Top end of C. Okay. Right. I'm looking at my screen with a bit of a delay. Has Ian had to leave?
Yeah. He's. I think he's dealing with his dog.
Right. Okay. I'll give my thoughts. I did rank this. It being a Christmas number one, it was in my Christmas number one singles ranking video from last December, and it wasn't massively high. I didn't like it an awful lot. I liked it better than Jimmy Osmond, certainly. It's kind of schmaltzy and
but I think it's intended to be.
Yeah, it's of its time. It's if I've had to go down on whether I like it or whether I don't like it, if it's a snap sort of judgment sort of thing, I'd be like, no, I don't like it. So for me, it can't be any higher than a kind of very low C tier. I mean, it doesn't really matter where on C it goes.
Yeah.
For the time being. Ian is back. Okay, so did you rank it at C as well, Jason? Sorry, I've forgotten.
Yeah, no, I said C.
We both said C. Right, Ian, Johnny Mathis, where you going to put him?
I like this. It's a lovely song. It's got some nice words in it. And when I did this at Christmas as one of my Christmas shorts, it was the second most viewed.
Oh.
A lot of people like this song, and the words in the middle when he speaks, it still means the same today about hope and thing. I think it's top end of C because it is a great song. I do like it.
Top end of C. Well, we've all said C for this, so yeah. Well, that's unanimous. I'm happy to put it. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it more than the Floral Dance, but I'm happy for the moment, and we'll go back to some of these specific positions at the end. But I'm happy to put it ahead of Shawaddy Waddy there, at least if it lets me.
Move the Shawaddy Waddy one.
There we go. So Johnny Mathis is in C tier with When a Child is Born. Ian, I think it's your pick now.
Right, I think we'll go for Blondie.
Blondie, they are at number 8, and it is, if my phone will unlock in time, it is Heart of Glass, of course. From 1979, it sold 1,180,000 copies. All right, Ian, tell us about Blondie and Heart of Glass.
This is when we all fell in love with Debbie Harry. It's not top drawer, but it's definitely it's a classic. It's a great song.
Yeah.
One of my favourite songs of the 70s as well.
All right, Ian saying A tier for Heart of Glass. Jason, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's a good tune. It's one of Blondie's better songs. Yeah, I'll be quite happy with that in A. That's good enough. Sorry, Nick, was I because of my sight again. What have we got at the top there in this? I've forgotten.
There's Mull of Kintyre at the top.
Oh yeah, Mull of Kintyre, Nick. There you go. Yeah, no, yeah. Anyway, yeah, A. That's fair enough.
Hey, we've got 2 A's. Heart of Glass. I like it. There again, I don't love it. It's the Blondie singles I prefer. Well, actually, I like Maria from 1998.
Oh.
But, yeah, okay, Jason. I knew I'd regret bringing that up. Just wait till we do our 90s ranking. I'll spank you. in the metaphorical sense, obviously. For me, this one would be kind of B tier for me, but because I'm happy to be outvoted, really. So whereabouts do people want it in A? I think it should go ahead of Queen personally, but I bet you two probably don't think that, do you? So, what do you reckon? I mean, I'm
leave it where it is.
Yeah, put it there. Keep it there for now.
Yeah,
keep it there for now. We can go back to it.
There for now. Right. I think I'm going to have to address the elephant in the room here. We're going to have to get him out of the way because there's no avoiding it.
Oh, dear Lord, yes.
But enough about David Soul, the reprobate. No, we're not going to do that one yet because I'm going to go with the 11th biggest selling single of the decade. We've got to talk about it. We've got to do it. It's part of music history. We can't ignore it. It's Gary Glitter, I Love, You Love, Me Love from 1973. It sold 1,140,000 copies.
Yes.
I was a generation too late for Gary Glitter. Please don't let me make any really horrible jokes, by the way.
No, go ahead.
Wait, I think you can probably fill in the gaps on that one. You can probably read my mind. As glam as kind of bubblegum glam goes, pop songs of that part of the 70s. It's not awful. It's so tempting because of like the horrific things that he not just been accused of, but the things he got convicted of. It'd just be easy just to say, oh, it's D tier, it's Gary Glitter, let's consign him to to history's dustbin, and I get that. I get the feeling behind it, but I'm trying to judge it on the song, and the song itself, for me, I don't think it's B tier for me, but I think it would be a relatively high C tier for me. Gary Glitter, I Love You, Love Me, Love. Ian, I know you'll have some thoughts on this one, so let me know your thoughts on this single.
Right, I think you've got to. How you look at it, when this came out, I was six, 7.
Pardon me.
And we would sing this because it was catchy. The music, of course, is the Glitter Band, who are another identity in
I
themselves.
was going to ask that, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we had this last week on our Glam, Richard and I, and it's very the same sort of thing. What he did, he's rotting in jail. Best place for him. He should never be let out again. But the music was part of my growing up, and I can't put him in D because of what he's done. I look at that song, and it's C. It's not the best one he did.
No.
He did better. Well, there are better Gary Glitter songs out there, but it was so big, and it's one of those songs. As Richard and I both said, we both at different stages saw him in concert, and it was a great crowd puller. They'd sing the whole of the song. So as a kid, I've got memories of it, but I think I'll put it in C because it's not one of the better. There are better Gary Glitter songs.
Well, it's 2 for C, Gary Glitter at the moment. Jason, the final word is yours.
Yeah, I think C is fair enough. I mean, as soon as he found out what what he'd done, it was like, "Do you want to be in my gang?" Not anymore, Gary. No, thank you. Yeah, no, he's done
That's
bad.
a nicer joke than the one I had going through my head. Put it that way.
Yeah. No, the thing is, the Glitter Band themselves were good, and and it's a shame he did what he did because it spoiled their careers in a way. Because as I say, they were quite good. As glam rock bands go, they were quite good. Yeah, no, I think C's fair enough.
Yeah, well, we're all in agreement then. It's a C ranked, 1 for Gary Glitter. Just looking where he might fit in that. I mean, I'm happy to put him at the bottom for now, but unless people,
bottom of C.
Yeah, for the time being, maybe he'll get shifted up. Who knows? I picked that one. So that means Jason, it's your.
I believe so. Yep. Christ, what have we got left? Not a lot of them. Oh, let's pick one that I can definitely see. Let's pick David Soul.
Don't Give Up on Us, Baby, from Mr. David Soul, who it wasn't that long ago. He passed away, was it?
Oh, right. I didn't realise that. Yeah, I've forgotten that.
This was the 10th biggest selling single of the decade. It came out in 1977 and it sold 1,145,000 copies. All right then, Jason, you picked David Soul. Tell us why we're not to give up on you, baby.
Well, in this case, you ought to, because it's not a great song, is it? It's another one of those twee ones. His voice is all right, but it's a very sort of cliched 70s tune. It's nothing special. Where do we put it? It's not a D. I think it's certainly beyond anything that's on that level. I think it's probably somewhere in the C category. It's all right, but it's nothing amazing.
Okay. C says Jason. Where would you put David Soul in?
This one's definitely C because I prefer Silver Lady. which I think is a better song.
Mm.
This was a little bit, you know, he played a tough cop,
Yeah.
didn't he? And this, as much as he'd got a great voice, nah, this wasn't for me. The Silver Lady was a nice little rocky song. This was a little bit wishy-washy, throw me a bucket, I want to throw up in it type song.
Not that
I
bad.
think the words were just a little bit too sickly for me.
Yeah.
So it's a C for me on that one.
Let's see. Yeah, I think we're going to all be in agreement. And, I think it's got a certain charm to it, but that's really all I can say in its favour. Oh, sorry, it sounded like you wanted to interject with something there.
No.
Oh, no, if you had something to say,
No, it's fine. I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Blimey. Same time next year. C tier. It'd be relatively high C tier. You know what? At the moment, and you can always tell me to shift it down later on. I'm going to put it behind the floral dance there for now, at least. So there we go. David Soul in C tier. That means it's your pick, Ian.
Rod Stewart Sailing.
Oh dear.
Another interjection there, Jason. Yeah. Rod Stewart Sailing. So this is the what number is it? Surprisingly low on the list for me. I thought this would have sold more, but it's the 22nd biggest selling single of the 70s. It says 1975/76 on here, so whether it meant that was reissued or it just kind of got released.
There is a reason why it was popular.
But 955,000 copies sold. All right, then, Ian, you've chosen Rod Stewart. What have you got to say about Sailing?
I am a bit of a Rod fan. I've liked what he's done, especially in the 70s and the Faces and Jeff Beck. This was very popular because it was a theme tune to a BBC documentary series called Sailor, which was about the Art Royal at the time. I used to play this, but this is a great song. It's got a great guitar solo on it. It's one of Rod's finest 70s singles, and I just believe it belongs in A. It's a great song.
I mean, it was a cover version, weren't it?
It was, but it's a great cover.
I think I have heard this. Is it the Sutherland brothers who originally did it?
Yeah.
I think I've heard their version, and I prefer it. But anyway, I'll maybe get back onto that when I'm giving my ranking. But okay, Ian says A. Jason, Sailing.
Yeah, it's not one of Rod's best tunes by any stretch, I'm afraid. I have to disagree with you on this one. Tommy, didn't the Royal Navy do a brass band version of this?
Probably. I wouldn't.
Just seems
the Philharmonic Orchestra do a version of it.
Certainly remember something.
Yeah, classic rock. It was on one of the classic rock albums.
I want to be fair to it, but it does great on me.
Well, you've got to be honest. Give your honest thoughts on it. If you hate it, say so. If you love it, say so.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Not like Jimmy. Let's say I'm sorry, but I can't say any higher than C. It's all right, but it's one of those ones you've heard it so too many times, and Rod's just done so much better. So much better.
He's done a lot worse.
True.
Yeah, I'll agree with that as well. All right. I think it must have been one of my mum's favourites rather than my dad's, because this is a song I remember hearing a lot as a kid. You know, and obviously that would have been, kind of 10 years after the fact, really. So maybe there's a bit of other familiarity for me with it. Like I say, I've heard the Sutherland Brothers original. only once, I think, some years ago, and I think that their version I preferred, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think it's so bad it should go straight in D tier, and obviously it wouldn't anyway because of Ian ranking it so high himself. But I'd be sort of more inclined to agree with Jason here that it'd be C tier. So yeah, I think it's going to have to be an outvoted kind of rather than meet in the middle because I don't think me or Jason would like it enough for it to even be in B tier as a compromise. But
It's off one of his most successful albums, Atlantic Crossing.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, for because Ian ranked it so high, I will put it at the forefront of C tier. I actually don't like it. I would put the Floral Dance and maybe even David Soul ahead of that, but But C tier, top end for now. Maybe we'll do a bit of shifting later on. Right, it's my pick, isn't it? Well, we'll because they've got two entries in this chart. I'll go with the New Seekers again. This one is at number 17 in the list, and it is I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing, of course, from 1972, and it sold 990,000 copies. No, I've said that, but 990,000 copies. Yeah, what a grand short of 1 million. So, of course, featured on a Coca-Cola ad. Oasis heavily ripped it off for Shaker Maker. A 2 decades or so later. Let's think New Seekers. Now, I'm trying to remember where did I put the other New Seekers one? Oh, that B tier, didn't it? Yeah. I don't think I like it as much as You Won't Find Another Fool Like Me. But there again, there's a lot of stuff that I'm finding kind of, sort of bang average, really. So I think for me, this one's got to be a C tier, really. It's still throwaway pop as far as I'm concerned. So it's not going to be anything that I'd want to come back to or choose to listen to. But I don't think it's a bad song as it goes. And, it's associated with a very famous ad campaign. And, I think the New Seekers, they were likable enough for what they were. So for me, it's somewhere in C tier for me. But Ian, I'd be interested to know your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, well, the advert came first.
Ah, okay.
And they just extended it to a song. Yeah, it was a big hit from all over the world.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was number one, I think, in about 5 or 6 countries. Do I prefer it to Beg, Steal, or Borrow? No, I love this song. We used to sing it at school in music lessons because it's a perfect round. And that's how they got us singing rounds. I had a great music teacher that would pick popular songs for us to sing, and she picked this one because we all knew it. And she'd tell us about the rounds and how they put it together. So I've got fond memories of this. So I want it I want it to see. I don't think it, to be quite honest, when it comes down to it, Beg, Steal, Borrow is Won't Find Another Fool with better songs. And it was an advert, and they just went on from that. And yeah, it's C.
C for Ian for I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing. Jason, what are your thoughts on this one from the New Seekers?
Yeah. I actually prefer it to the other one, but I always thought of them as sort of like Val Dunican's favourite band, because that's sort of like Cardigans and Rocking Chairs and all the rest of it sort of style thing. I don't know why, but that's what it makes me think of. It's an okay song, bit twee maybe. I think C's fair enough. I'm not sure whereabouts in there, but C certainly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're all in singing from the same hymn sheet again here. Where it'll go in C. I'll put it at the forefront of C, at least for the time being.
Oh no, I don't think it's as. I think Rod Stewart's better.
All right then. All right, fair enough. Right. So that was my pick. Jason, it's your pick now.
Oh, crikey. Not that many left.
No.
What's the one?
Yeah, just
I was
pick
going to
one.
say, what's the one with the white border?
One with the white border, that is...
In the middle.
That is 3 Times a Lady by the Commodores.
All right, yeah, okay.
That is the 24th biggest selling single of the decade, 1978, 910,000 copies. Right, Jason, the Commodores, were they a better band or a better computer? I knew you'd enjoy that one, you nerd.
About the same.
Right, okay.
Yes, I do know what a Commodore is. Thank you very much. Right, anyway. I don't know if I prefer the Commodores to Lionel Richie solo stuff, actually. I think they were quite a good band. I love Night Shift. That's a great song. This is okay. Where to put it, though? Maybe I do quite like it. Maybe the bottom end of B.
Bottom end of B. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Ian, once, twice, 3 times a lady. What do you reckon to this one?
Well, if they run out of anaesthetic in a hospital, just put this on.
All right.
It's dreary. It's got nothing to it. It's boring. It's the when you can't compare this to Night Shift. Night Shift is far better. This
is
a dirge. There's nothing to it. There's no melody. There's no structure. It's just. Is it over yet?
Fair enough.
Over yet? Nah, it's D. It's just trying.
B tier for Ian. So B for Jason, D for Ian. Oh. Yeah, it's one of those, like, I've heard it loads over the years, but it's kind of archetypical background music for me. It's like if someone had it on in the background, I'd be like, well, it's fine, but don't turn it up, whatever you do. It's just, it's like Muzak almost, really. It's just
vacuous elevator music.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think D might be a little bit harsh on it. So I think I'm going to have to split the difference, really, here and put it in C tier. But whereabouts in C? I have no idea.
Right at the bottom. It doesn't deserve to be anywhere.
Well, for now, it can go behind a certain Mr. P. Gadd there. But maybe we'll shift it somewhere else later on. Ian's pick now.
I think I know what. I'm going for the brass band one. I know what that is. It's Amazing Grace.
Number 21 is, and there again, I've got to read a long band name out. This was, yes, you're right, Amazing Grace by the Pipes, Drums and Military Band of the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards. It came out in 1972 and it sold 962,000 copies. Right, Ian.
It's a fantastic song. It's a great song. It's the only song I can play on a piano and a stylophone.
But can you play it on the bagpipes, though?
No, I can't.
The bagpipes edition.
Jimmy,
what I like about this, what I like the bagpipes, the drums, that.
Yeah.
It's very heartwarming, this song. Just like Van der Valk, it's a B. It's just it's a wonderful version of this tune. And it's just the bagpipes that do it for me as well.
So you're saying B?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Jason, the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards and Amazing Grace.
I I do like the song "Amazing Grace." I'm not sure if this is one of the better versions, though. I always kind of feel the song should be more low key than this, in my opinion. So I think the bagpipes and all that is it's a bit OTT. It works, but just because it works doesn't mean necessarily you should have done it. I'm gonna have to say C. I'm sorry. Um, about bagpipes as well. We know like Jimmy likes playing his own bagpipes, so.
All right. CT says the world's greatest living comedian there, Jason Clow. Can I just shock you?
Go on in.
I love this. This is S tier for me.
Oh, okay.
I listened to it. I say again, I must have heard this particular version before in my life, but I'll listen to it. And all right, yeah. It's become a bit of a cliche for me to say I like anything with bagpipes in. That's probably not strictly true. I suppose if you played me every piece of music recorded on bagpipes ever, there'd be some that'd be like, well, no, that's not that good, really. But this totally gave me chills when I listened to it.
It's the heart and soul of it, isn't it?
It's S tier. It's my, even maybe above Wings. It's my favourite one on the list. It really is.
Right.
I didn't think I would say that. It's so beautiful. It's so good, and I'm gutted that I can't have it in S tier, and I don't even know if I can have it in A tier because Ian's ranked it B. You've ranked it as C. I want it in S, but bloody hell, Ian! Why didn't you go with A tier, and then I could have made more of a case for it putting it there. No, you've got to go with your instincts and what you feel. If you don't think it's a B, then fair enough.
What about the top B?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I really want to see it in A, but because of what you two have voted, I can't even put it in there.
Yeah,
but,
sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah, that is it. It's such a good version. Oh, I love it. I really do. And I didn't think I'd be saying that about a piping band in this, but when I heard it, I knew I'd like it because of the bagpipes, but I absolutely adored it when I heard it again. So there we go. Top end of B, but for me personally, that is S tier. That is. I don't care how unfashionable it is. Bagpipes are great. The Royal Scots Dragoons Guard. What a band. Yeah. Amazing Grace is amazing as far as I'm concerned. Right then, Ian had his pick, so I think that's my pick. I'll go for this one at the end, which is, I think we can all see, it is Save Your Kisses for Me by the Brotherhood of Man. So this was the 12th biggest selling single of the decade. From 1976, it sold 1,007,000 copies. It was, of course, a Eurovision winner. It's quite likable, really. Save Your Kisses for me. It's dated. It's very of its time, admittedly, but we're in the echelon of certainly British Eurovision entries. I think it's got to be considered, up there as one of the better ones. That's maybe not speaking particularly highly of it, given that the UK has put out some absolute dross for Eurovision, particularly in more recent years. But now then, where would I put it though? I think maybe lower end of B for me for this. It's a song that when I hear it, it puts a little bit of a smile on my face, and I think while it's not the greatest piece of music ever made, I think there's a lot to be said for just a happy tune sort of thing. So I would say maybe lower B or upper C, really. Yeah, lower. Yeah, I'll say lower B, but obviously it depends on what you two say, really. So Ian, Brotherhood of Man.
I think the words are lovely, and it's all about a little girl and a daddy, isn't it? It's when and he's only going to work. I think that's what the song, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it's all about. And this is, of course, when the UK were sort of dominant in the Eurovision Song Contest. We was always there or thereabouts. You know, so we was always top 10, top, you know, a lot of top fives.
Yeah, but I watched that Eurovision documentary that Mike Vinyl Spiral recommended the other week, and it surprised me the amount of times the UK finished second. Like, they finished second loads, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like, a very close second as well. It was like the sort of UK position, really, weren't it? Runners up.
So, and this is one of the, you know, I think this is one of the great songs. Quirky little dance, catchy tune. I mean, they went on and had a few successes after this as well. You know, they were a very popular band on the club circuit. And I think it's lower B as well.
Right, 2 Bs so far for Brotherhood of Man. Jason, if you're saving all your kisses for me, I advise you to save them even longer, please.
Yeah.
Brotherhood of Man, though, where would you put this?
It's one of those weird songs. You want to hate it because it's cheesy as hell. You know, I get the sentiment behind it. I know it's time and all the rest of it, but it is a really cheesy song. I can't say any higher than C, I'm afraid.
Can't say higher than C. Okay, well, both me and Ian thought sort of lower end of B, so I think we'll go by the majority decision here, and we'll put it at the lower end of B, really. I'm relatively happy with that, I think. Yep, there we go, Brotherhood of Man. All right, then, Jason's penultimate pick now, I think.
Well, you got a few more than that, haven't you? Right, okay, yeah. Oh, let's just do the one that's right at the front.
On the left, Boney M.
Yep.
Right, okay, that is, of course, Mary's Boy Child, Oh My Lord. It's not a double A side, it's like I suppose, a medley of sorts.
Yeah,
This was the second biggest selling single of the whole decade. No, it wasn't, sorry, it was the fourth biggest, because we've already, in fact, actually, have we not done our... No, we haven't done either of them yet. No, sorry, I do apologise. I was reading the wrong information there. This is the fourth biggest selling single. Mary's Boy Child, Oh My Lord, 1978, 1,799,000 copies. So, yeah, obviously we've got more Boney M to come. But Mary's Boy Child, Jason, it was a Christmas #1. Give us your thoughts on it.
I like this. Right, I do like it. I mean, I like Boney M anyway. I think the original was done by Harry Belafonte, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Yeah, and I like that as well. So the disco-y version, it's a bit more upbeat. It's a bit more fun. This is gonna sound weird from me, but I'm gonna have to put it in A category because I do like it a lot.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I do like it a lot.
And it proves that there is Christmas music that you're quite a fan of as well.
Yeah.
All right, Jason says 80 for Mary's Boy Child, Oh My Lord. Ian, what are your thoughts on it?
I like it because it's quirky and it's got that little bit of Caribbean feel to it. And I love how they go into Oh My Lord. You know, really rounds off the song. Big Christmas hit when Christmas records were Christmas records.
Yeah,
I agree with Jason. It's an 80. It's up on one of my favourite songs by Boney M, and I like Boney M. You know, there's me a Motorhead fan, and I do like Boney M because when this was out, I was 12, 13. So you know, I appreciated a good song, and you know, you'd sing it at school, and you know, we sang this in our Christmas Carol service. So that, you know, that same Christmas. So that's how popular it was.
Okay. 2A rankings there. And I like it, yeah. I don't think I like it quite as much as you pair do, but I would certainly personally put it in maybe mid to higher B tier. So, but I'm going to go with majority rule for this one. You two both wanted it in A. I'm perfectly happy with that. I don't know whereabouts in A you think it should go. Whether you think it deserves to go ahead of Blondie and Queen, etc.
No, I wouldn't say it, but
No.
I think that's a good place for
Okay,
it.
so the end of A tier for Boney M, and there'll be more Boney M at some point. But it's Ian's pick now, isn't it?
Right, I'm going to go with Dawn.
Dawn, yep. Dawn, that's one in the middle. I think technically it's credited to Dawn with Tony Orlando.
Yeah.
Trying to find it on this list. Here, where are we? What number is it? Number 18. Tie Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree from Dawn, 1973. 988,000 copies sold. All right, then, Ian, what do you think of Dawn?
Quirky song. It's like, when someone's gone to prison, they get on the bus, and it's all about if you want them to come in, you put tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Something about that. Very quirky song. I prefer the other one they had, Not Three Times.
Yeah, I think I know that.
Yeah, but this is a good song. And I think it belongs in B. Very popular song, very quirky tune, and you can sing it. And once you hear it, you can sing the words.
B
tier.
tier.
Story, and I like story songs.
Yeah. B tier. Looking at my screen, Jason, is he back now?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Okay. Jason, tie yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. What's your thoughts on it?
I remember the other version. Tie a yellow ribbon around your old JT.
I wish I understood that one, but fortunately, I'm not 150 years old.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's all right. I can't say anything more than that, really. Middle of the road, maybe a little bit twee. It's in C somewhere. I don't know where, but C.
All right. B says Ian. C says Jason. This was another one. I did have to listen to it again recently, although I would have heard it before. I quite enjoyed it, to be fair. I didn't think I would, but I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't think it was mind-blowing, but for what it was, I thought it was a pretty decent pop song. Perhaps against my better judgment at the time, but so for me, it'd be high C, maybe even version on low B. So you know what? At least for the moment, I'm going to put it in B tier. I think it's good enough for B tier. I probably wouldn't want it higher at the moment, but we can always go back to that later on. So Dawn, Tony Orlando are in B tier. I think it's my penultimate pick now, and because we've had them recently, we'll get the other one done as well. The second biggest selling single of the decade, Rivers of Babylon by Boney M. So this was from 1978, and it sold 1,985,000 copies. So not far off being a 2 million seller. Also, a double A side with Brown Girl in the Ring. I like them both, so I can kind of judge it on both of them. But I'll mainly judge it on Rivers of Babylon. Yeah, Boney M are a lot of fun, aren't they? I'd never really want to collect any of their music. Maybe I'll try and pick up like a hits compilation one of these days, because I know there's plenty on there that I do like. Do I like it more than Mary's Boy Child? Yeah, I think I do, but then again, I was going with the majority rule for A tier for Mary's Boy Child. So I would put Rivers of Babylon sort of mid to low B tier. I think. Yeah. All right, Ian. What do you think to Rivers of Babylon?
It's an old gospel song.
Yeah.
And it's and it's a really nice song. It's got the Caribbean feel to it. Brown Girl in the Ring's a lot of fun as well.
Mm.
Both very good songs, catchy tunes, and everybody knows the words to these songs.
Yeah.
I think this is it better than Mary's Boy Child? No. One of my favourite songs is Ma Baker.
Yeah.
The single of that, I love it. So I think this is high end B.
High end of B. Okay. That's fair enough. All right, Jason. Let's see what you say about this one. Given that you like Mary's Boy Child a lot, I've got a feeling that you're not going to suddenly put this one in D tier, but we'll see.
I'm not sure really, because I do like both songs a heck of a lot. It's surprising actually. I've not got more of their stuff than I do because I've only got the "Hooray It's a Holiday" on coloured vinyl. Is it worthy of a B? It's worthy of a B. I don't know about A. But it's borderline B or A or B for me. I can't really decide which. So everyone said B, so put it up with being in B.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go for the unanimous vote of B there. And Ian said he wanted this relatively high, and you obviously wanted quite high. I am not putting it behind. I'm not putting it in front of my beloved Amazing Grace there. So yeah, that's just my own personal. Because I'm still annoyed that I had to put that in B tier. To be fair. I've just seen my screen and Ian's disappeared, but I'm looking at it on a delay here, so let me get back to the main screen.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, the screen's just gone black.
Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear us, Ian. If you can put something in the chat, if you're unable to.
Oh, he's not disappeared altogether, so he should be all right.
So I'm scrolling down this chat here. I don't know why this isn't scrolling automatically today. Oh, camera problem. Yeah, he's yeah. Oh, he's back. He's back. Look. Yeah, we can see you. All right. Okay. Right. There we go. We'll get back to it. So yeah, I don't think you want to miss that, Ian, but we did put Boney M in B. It's your final pick, Jason.
Oh, crikey. Let's do the one right at the end that's got a bit of red or whatever it is on there.
Cliff Richard.
Oh, bloody hell.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah,
yes,
we can hear you, mate.
Yeah, I've got a camera problem at the moment. I don't know what's...
Oh, yeah, you have. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at it as a delay now, but yeah, we can hear you. It's a similar...
Yeah.
Sounds similar problem to what I were having a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
might as well get out of the way.
Number 25, We Don't Talk Anymore by Cliff Richard from 1979. It sold 900,000 copies. Jason, Cliff.
Yeah, thing is, my mum is absolutely mad about Cliff. She still likes him now. So obviously all this sort of stuff is on the radio or on the record player and that all the time. It's an alright tune as far as his go. Is it great? No. But it's sort of like, I think he was trying to reinvent himself a bit in the 70s, and it kind of does its job. So I think C would be fair enough for it. It's not awful, but it's not amazing.
C for Cliff Richard, We Don't Talk Anymore.
Yeah.
Ian, hopefully you're still with us, even though your camera's off. What do you reckon to We Don't Talk Anymore?
Pile of crap. The worst song one of the worst songs he ever did. Next to the
Blimey.
Fair enough.
D, it's just, I hate it. He was trying to keep relevant and poppy, and it just didn't work. Flat as a pancake for me, that one.
D tier, says Ian. Right. Well, yeah, Cliff. Now then, obviously, everyone knows I don't like Cliff Richard, but I do like Saviour's Day. I love Saviour's Day. In fact, it's one of my favourite singles of all time, and certainly one of my favourite Christmas songs. I like the Celtic stuff. I know I'm banging on about it. I'm banging on about a Cliff song I like because I'd rather talk about that than this one, really. But we don't talk. It's not his word. Let's face it. But it's I'd say it's lower end of C for me. So yeah, we'll go with the majority rule in here. Me and Jason rank it at C. Ian ranks it as a D. So it can go in C tier. Whether it should.
It just about fit.
Yeah, it's extended the
good, yes.
look. So C tier goes Cliff Richard. Whether it deserves to go ahead of any of the others, we can sort that out in a bit. Ian, it's your final pick now. Only two to choose from.
Let's get it at YMCA.
Right, okay. YMCA by the Village People. This was the 6th, I think it is, big selling single of the decade, out in 1979. A lot of these were out in 79, weren't they? And it sold 1,380,000 copies. All right, then. So, is it fun to stay at the YMCA, Ian? Let us know.
No, it's absolute rubbish. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's absolute, and I can't stand the dance. I can't stand anything about it. It's just shockingly shite.
It's a dip. I get the feeling you want us to quickly invent an E tier for this one.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It's off the chart. It shouldn't even be in there.
There
were no better singles in the 70s than that pile of rubbish.
Yeah.
Okay, Ian says D for YMCA. Jason, where are you putting it? I've got a feeling I know, but let us know.
Yeah, I think it's D. It's one of those songs when you're a kid, you know, and they played it at school disco or whatever. It was like, yeah, fine, all the people loved it. And then they were doing that blooming hand movement thing, which was cheesy as hell. And the more I've heard it over the years, the more and more it gets on my freaking tits. So, right, so yeah, it's D. I'm sorry, it's horrendous.
It's D.
And I don't think many of their other songs are that much pop either.
I can see on a slight delay that Ian is back with us. He's sorted out his camera issues. 2 Ds so far for Village People. Where am I going to put it? Yeah, I can't put it higher than D. It's crap, innit? It's rubbish. Yeah, I've not got anything else to say about it that you two haven't already said. Really, yeah, it's an easy D tier for me. This I would be perfectly fine never hearing it again for the rest of my life. But I think we've got to rank it ahead of Little Jimmy Osmond, certainly. And don't forget to mention that in your hate mail this week, Jason, that you were even ranked Village People ahead of him. Okay, well, it's not a pick for me. It's the last one, and you know what? I can't bloody tell what it is. It's number, I think that says number 18. No, it isn't. Because we've done that. Right, let me bear with me.
28, it looks like.
It looks like what? Sorry,
28, 26.
Yes, 28. You're quite right. We're ending with one that I think people are going to like generally. Another one from 1979. It sold 855,000 copies, and it is Boomtown Rats. I Don't Like Mondays. Yeah, I've always liked this song. I mean, it's the lyrics were about someone who killed people at a school, weren't it? So it's not exactly the most uplifting of lyrics,
No.
but you know, Boomtown Rats, they had a couple of good, I think, a couple of number ones in the 70s. I think Rat Trap got to number one as well. Ian would probably be able to confirm or deny that.
Yeah, was a.
And a couple of other half decent singles. So I would, you know, if you'd asked me sort of 20, 25 years ago, I might have ranked this sort of A tier. I'm kind of thinking maybe B tier is about its limit for me now, but it's an easy and relatively high B for me, I think. I don't like Mondays. But I'll be interested to know what you two think of it. So, Jason, we'll go to you next on this one. Boomtown Rats.
It's a good tune. It's a damn good tune. I like the video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good video. Yeah.
Yeah. Has it aged well? Maybe not. Which is possibly what's preventing me from putting it in something like ST or whatever. At the time, I loved it. I'm gonna have to say A tier for this one. I think.
All right, A tier for I Don't Like Mondays. Right, okay, Ian. The final single and the final word on the final single goes to you for the
Right.
Boomtown
Okay.
Rats.
I knew the story behind it, but I've just googled it to get the facts right. It is based on a fact. Geldof wrote the song after he read a teletext report that a shooting that happened at Georgia State University. The person in question did the shooting spree was a Brenda Ann Spencer. She killed 2 adults and injured 8 children. And their explanation why she did it, I don't like Mondays.
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
So it is actually a true story. Anyway.
Yeah. I always knew it was based on a true thing. Yeah.
I like the song, and I do like the Rats. Big fan of the Rats. This is probably one of their greatest songs. It's got one of Bob Geldof's finest vocals. He really shows emotion in the song, and
yeah,
I love Johnny Finger's piano work in this. It's just a brilliant song.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's an S for me.
All right. Okay. S tier, says Ian. So I said kind of high B, possibly Virgin on low A. Jason says A. Ian says S. So we've got to meet in the middle really on this one. It's got to go in A tier. I imagine it'd be relatively high up in A tier as well for people.
It's got to be very high.
I would certainly rank it above Ian Jury. I'll put it there for now, just behind Bright Eyes. So there we go. So that is all of them ranked. But before we make it official, we'll go through them and see if there's anything we want to change. So in the S tier, just one in S tier. And it is, of course, Mull of Kintyre by Wings. And then in A tier, so we love Wings. We think that's the greatest in the whole lot. But A tier, of course, is stuff that we find very good to excellent. And we've got Art Garfunkel, Bright Eyes, Boomtown Rats, Ian Jury, Queen, Blondie, and Mary's Boy Child, Oh My Lord by Boney M. And then B tier, we've got the Wonderful Amazing Grace by the pipe band of the Royal Dragoon Guards. Rivers of Babylon by Boney M. We've got Simon Price with the Eye Level Van der Valk theme. Slade. New Seekers, You Won't Find Another Fool. Save All Your Kisses for Me by Brotherhood of Man. And Dawn and Tony Orlando in B tier. And then C, plenty in C. This is what we're finding kind of maybe below average to maybe slightly above average overall. Rod Stewart, another one from the New Seekers, I Like to Teach the World to Sing. The Floral Dance by the Rastrick and Brickhouse Brass Band. David Soul, Johnny Mathis, Shawaddy Waddy, Julie Covington, Pussycat, the first from John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, You're the One That I Want, Gary Glitter, The Commodores, and Cliff Richard. And in D tier, this is what we think are the dregs of the decade, is Dancing Queen by ABBA, Summer Nights by Travolta and Newton-John, YMCA by Village People, and Long-Haired Lover from Liverpool by Jason's best mate, Little Jimmy Osmond. All right. Do we want to move any?
I've still got a strong case for Sailing, I don't think it's a mediocre song. It definitely, when you look at what's in C, it doesn't belong with C's. It belongs in A,
Yeah.
B's. It does not belong in C's.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I do quite like the original. So, and it's not Rod Stewart's worst. I don't.
It just doesn't. He doesn't belong. He doesn't belong in that
Right,
group.
tell you what. Right, come on, Rodders. We're going to put you in B tier. Right then. But anything else that we want? I mean, don't forget we can move sort of very slight placings if people think something's maybe mid C that should be high C, or maybe you're happy with it. It doesn't really matter ultimately as long as we've got the general letter rankings fine.
Yeah, let's just have a look again.
I still think your rhythm stick should be in the top tier, but that.
I personally do as well myself.
It's not. It's look, Mull of Kintyre is an epic. That is obviously Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick it's a nice little punky, fun song, but it's a bit throwaway, really, isn't it? Let's be honest.
What?
Well, you should have been there in 1979, Jimmy.
I'm afraid I wasn't.
It wasn't a throwaway song in 1979.
Because my parents hadn't copied. No, let's leave it at that.
It was a very influential song, and
I couldn't, in all good conscience, shift Ian Jory into S tier. Having Ian Jory alongside Wings is, to me, it's ridiculous. I don't.
Okay. So
A tier, I'm happy with it. Me personally, it'd be a B, I think, for me, Ian Jory, but I'm happy with it in A tier. That's fine, but S tier, no way, not for that.
Right, okay, so what have we got? We got Bright Eyes.
If anything, I would say Bright Eyes would possibly be an S tier for me, but but I'm happy with that being in A. I'm relatively happy with how it looks, to be honest. I don't think I really want to shift much.
Yeah. I'm just wondering when
I think YMC's Way is worse than Jimmy Osmond.
Which one is, sorry?
YMCA is worse than
that's a tough call. That is.
I mean, yeah. I'm happy to swap them. At
least Jimmy Osmond. It's a bit more quirky, and there's no stupid dances, and they didn't dress like they're rejects from a fancy dress ball,
Mm. I think that was part of their appeal. Certainly, when I was a kid.
It weren't my appeal. I thought, what a bunch of.
Yeah. No, I suppose that's fair enough.
I think ABBA's better than D tier, but I know I'm going with the majority, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there. It's not ABBA's strongest single. It never was, Dancing Queen. But for me, it would be C tier.
We're going to get a caning for putting it in D.
Nick's having a rant.
Well, no, look, Nick. I know I've seen some of Nick's comment. Look, Nick. I like the song. I've not said I dislike it, but it's not S tier. It's not an all-time classic. It's a pop punk song. And I think there's been better, anything that the Sex Pistols did for starters, I would rank above Ian Jory.
Mm.
And I wouldn't, and the Buzzcocks, I think the Buzzcocks were better. The Clash, I like the Clash better. Ian Jory, great lyricist.
I just can't believe that YMCA actually made it into because you think of all the great songs of the 70s and that. What was number 31?
What was 31? I haven't actually got the anything below 30 to hand. I'm afraid there was some big. I remember when I saw I think the total list was like at least a top 50. There's some big hitters.
Yeah. So what about Walking on the Moon? The Police. That's far better than.
Well,
a message in a bottle.
the 30 biggest is the 30 biggest sellers. You know, it's what sold, and you know, people. Let's face it, people buy a lot of tripe, don't they?
They do.
Well, at least that wasn't. I mean, for novelty records, Ernie the Fastest Milkman in the West was a better song than Long Haired Lover from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, we've got less than half, a B or above. So I mean, I think that tells you that sort of period what was selling.
Yeah, I just can't believe that there was no other ABBA songs in that list.
No, that surprised me as well, given all the big hits they had. I mean, New Seekers get 2 in the top 30, but ABBA only get 1.
And it's probably their weakest.
Yeah.
What was it Nick was saying about one that didn't get in there? Another Brick in the Wall.
Yeah, that's funny though, because it came out the very end of '79, so whether it was, you know, maybe being the 1980s one.
It could have overlapped. Yeah, it could have overlapped.
It came out. I think it came out November time. It was very late.
No.
I mean, it got to number 1 very quickly.
Yeah,
but it wasn't going to be one of the best. But another song that should have been featured on there, "Fanfare for the Common Man" by ELP. Now that was huge.
I mean, it wouldn't have sold enough. That's the
funny thing was at the end of the 70s, Radio 1 did the greatest for the 500 countdown and the 500 songs of the decade. And yeah, Mull of Kintyre was number 1.
Mm.
That is a great song.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely deserves to be an S.
The S tier. We're all pretty much in agreement with that. Yeah. That it's, you know,
it's one of those.
And it's nice that we've got an S tier, because you never know. One day we might do one of these, and we might not get any in S tier. You know, if there's stuff that we like but just not quite love enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of big hitters, a lot of big singles that obviously sold plenty, but just didn't sell enough to get into this top 30. So there's got to be loads and loads that missed.
Where's T-Rex? Where's Bowie? Where's Sweet?
Yeah.
You know, some of the biggest bands was some. I mean,
Slade had quite a few number 1s. Yet they're only in it once.
No Sweet. No Sweet, no T-Rex.
No David Bowie, although it could be argued he was more of an album artist, I suppose. You could
say. Yeah.
He had some big singles. No Elton John.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you think how well, I know they never released any singles, but you think how well Led Zeppelin could have done if they'd released singles.
Well,
you know.
I mean, that's highly theoretical, though, because they, you know.
Oh, yeah, I know, but, you know, I'm just saying.
See, there's a tier ranking for the top-selling albums.
Yes, that'd be interesting.
But does that mean we'd have to go away and listen to all the albums?
That would take some doing.
Yeah. Perhaps one day.
Yeah. Top 10 albums, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So are we more or less happy? I know we're not totally 100% happy. I mean, you know me. I want to shift Amazing Grace, but I'm not going to, because I'm going by the majority. But personally,
looking at it against what is in there, I'm looking at that now. I think it deserves to go up at least to A.
That's fair enough.
I was hoping you were going to say that. That's why I kind of went back to you earlier.
No, I was looking at it and I thought it's a stirring song.
Yeah. Well, I think because you've made compromises and other stuff which you don't particularly like, then I think we can allow that. I think that's fair.
No,
I think Ian you will seem to be leaning towards A, just by how much you said it was good. But then when you went with B, I thought, oh, you kind of surprised me a bit, because I thought you were going to go with at least A there.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you did eventually bump it up.
I was just looking at it against, and I thought, I think it is more A tier.
Mm.
I think that's the thing with these lists. So you set out with your opinion of it, and then you're sort of comparable to what you've got there. You think, well, actually, that deserves better than perhaps where we initially put it.
You see, for me, all them songs, I remember every single one of them.
Almost all of them.
And me, I obviously don't remember them from literally when they came out, but a lot of them obviously were just ubiquitous in the following years. So, you know, it's a lot of these, obviously, I'm very familiar with anyway.
Yeah.
I think out of that 30, I probably bought at least 10 of them when they came out.
Hopefully, some of the top ones rather than the.
The Mullivan Kintyre I've got. Don't like Mondays. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Obviously, I've got.
I actually found that in my collection today. I don't know when these actually came across. It was only in a plain cover, but yeah.
Yeah, mine was only in a plain cover, but it's the original pressing of it.
Yeah.
Right, so are we gonna say that is sorted then?
Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Right.
I'm gonna take your screenshot.
Saved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make any difference really, but perhaps ought to post these on the community tab at some point, really, just to kind of show people what they've missed. But there we go. So I can stop sharing that, and
That was good.
I think we're back. I'll just put the chat overlay on for the last few seconds. But yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you to Ian and Jason, obviously, for helping ranking those singles. A lot of controversy, really. Hello, Vinyl Dale. Thanks for coming in. I hope it's been a lot of fun for everyone watching. Certainly was a lot of fun for me to do this. Some difficult decisions to make, as I knew there would be, and some differing opinions, but we were kind of the same mindset for a lot of these as well. But yeah, we'll do another tier list. I do want to do a 90s singles one at some point. Simon, I'd like to invite you to be a special guest for that one, because you being a 90s guy like me, I think you'll have some opinions to make on that. But that one, if we do that, that's going to be like mid-May, I think, something like that.
Yeah, that's out of my. There's not much of the pop songs of the 90s that
Yeah, well, obviously you're welcome on the panel, Ian, and even if you don't really sort of give any rankings to any of them,
mine are probably all be that's rubbish. That's terrible. But there are the odd one or two.
Oh yeah, but I'll get in touch with you about that nearer the time, Simon. It won't be in 2 weeks, because we've got the special thing with Nick's Vinyl Butty in 2 weeks' time. But it might be 2 weeks after that. I'll decide a bit nearer the time.
If the rankings are as I think they're going to be for the 90s, I think there's a lot of stuff you will know, Ian, because a lot of it will be cheese infested.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I do know. Obviously, I do know the stuff of the 90s, but it wasn't my decade.
No, that's fair enough.
No, but it was mine. I think it was Jason's to a large extent, and certainly Simon. I mean, Simon is a big fan of a lot of Britpop era stuff. So I think his opinion is going to be interesting. So yeah, we'll sort that out for possibly mid or late May. We'll see how things go. But one more big thank you to everyone who's been watching this. Thank you to Nick, who I know has been commenting and cursing at me in the comments. They're all pissed. And again, thank you to my co-hosts, Ian and Jason. Give everyone a sub who you can see on the ticker bar going down there. Ian ranking the obscure, and Jason at not suitable for mum. Of course, Nick's asking, could I do a ska two-tone reggae ranking? If I was more of an expert on it, then that'd be a lot of fun. But I think we need to learn the basic lessons of two-tone first, Nick, and that's where you come in. But
definitely.
We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for another Old Sodcast with our special guest, Nick's Vinyl Butty. Ian, of course, is back live this Thursday with his weekly ranking the obscure stream and
music magazine type of thing.
Yep, and maybe Simon will have something for us at the end of the week or whenever he feels like it. But keep your eye on all those. But until then, we'll say good night. Thank you again, and join us in a couple of weeks' time for more Sodcast.